Hi folks, I'm Rick Ufford-Chase, the Executive Director of Newport Downtown Development, and this is Newport Connects, behind the scenes with Newport Downtown, to learn about the work that we're doing and all that's going on to make our community a vibrant and vital place again. And today I have with me Dave LaForce, who is the chair of our Economic Development Task Force. So Dave, I wonder if you might just say a few words about how you got pulled into this work.
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined the Newport Downtown Development Board last June. And since that time, I've become the chair of the Economic Task Force, which is a group of individuals from the Newport area, several business leaders such as Dina Gray from the East Side Restaurant, Chris Hamlet from the Pick and Shovel, Rick Woodward from the Work Commons and the Green Mountain Cafe, Megan McClure, which is an owner-operator of Farm and Forest Century 21 Real Estate, Ellen Stanley from Passumpsic Savings Bank, Sarah Chadburn from Community National Bank. And did I forget anybody?
You got Rick Woodward?
I said Rick
You
Woodward.
said Rick. I think you got everybody.
Yeah. So since November, we've been meeting as a group twice a month. And basically, we've been on an education tour, basically meeting with a lot of different municipalities around the state, such as St. Albans has been a big one, South Burlington, Winooski. And basically, we're trying to learn on all of the great things they've done in their communities, and basically what things that they've done to create economic growth for their downtown area specifically. And we've basically been applying those skills and learnings to see what we can do to enhance Newport's economy.
One of the things that led to was back in February, the Economic Development Task Force went to the City Council and Mayor and asked if we could have permission, authority, to work with the city and on behalf of the city to develop a kind of a roadmap, a master plan, an enhanced master plan for how we're going to go about doing the work of getting from here to a redeveloped and vibrant downtown. And we signed that MOU with the city in February, and our first task was to develop a proposal, what we call a request for proposals, to find a company that would be willing to come in and help us, starting with the already existing reports and studies that have been done, because there have been many of them over the last several years. Starting with those reports, looking for the gaps, trying to figure out what we really need to turn it into an actionable plan, and then to bring that proposal to fruition. And I wonder, Dave, maybe you could just talk a little bit about what we were hoping for, kind of what the deliverables were that we said we were looking for in that plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So we engaged with a company called VHB to do the work. And basically the deliverables that we're looking for in that plan, the first thing is a site analysis for the entire downtown area and the waterfront area. And basically identifying the best use of every single property in the entire downtown district and the waterfront area as well. A housing study to determine what is needed in Newport for the short term and the long term for the economic growth of our city. Public infrastructure analysis, which includes parking, water and sewer, power, utilities, walkability and biking was a big piece of it, and also street improvements. So basically what's needed to start the foundation of our success in redeveloping the whole downtown and waterfront area. Another portion of the request was for a TIF analysis, and basically to ensure that a TIF program would actually benefit the city and would actually work.
Okay, so you're going to have to describe at least what the name means, TIF.
Yep. So TIF stands for Tax Incremental Financing. It is a very complex system, but basically it's a state program that a lot of municipalities have used that basically defers property taxes back to the municipality to pay for enhancements to allow development to happen. That's about the simplest way I can kind of explain it. I don't know if you want to.
Well, you know, what I find is it helps to actually have 2 or 3 ways to explain it. People kind of capture it where they do. So I'll just say one way that I think of it is that it kind of freezes the current taxes on a property. So if you think of course, the big property that everybody wants to know about and what we're going to do about is the hole on Main Street, as everyone affectionately calls that thing, which we call the development opportunity. And so you kind of freeze the current property value, property tax value on that property. You come in and make the improvements, new water and sewer connections or whatever it is it might need, brownfields mitigation work. You borrow money to make those improvements, and then you pay that loan back with the difference between the old level of taxation and the new value of taxation once the new building is built on it. And then once that difference has paid off the balance of the loan, then all of the money starts coming back into the tax coffers for the community. So you're basically deferring gratification in order to get the property built out.
Correct.
And probably if we had two more people sitting here, they could also do it differently, right? I mean, part of the trick is trying to get our heads around how to make something that sounds pretty challenging understandable for folks.
Right, exactly. And then there was two other points in the RFP, which one is also analyzing other funding sources that we can use as a city to promote development. So TIF is one mechanism, but we know there's a lot of other funding stacks that other communities have used. So they're going to provide to us what all those potential other funding stacks are that exist today, both from the state, federal, and many other ways, so we can take advantage of those things to develop Newport going forward. And then the last piece was airport considerations. So we have an excellent airport close to our community in Coventry, and they're going to determine how we can maximize the use of that airport for the betterment of the Newport's future. So those are the highlights.
So you can tell there's a lot going on in this plan, and Christine Grimando, who is the project manager for VHB, the company that won this bid, has characterized their work in a way that I find really helpful. She said, don't think of this as a new and bigger study. Think of it as a granular look at what previous studies have suggested needed to be done to get us down to the specifics, kind of ground level game that we're going to have to play in order to actually do development in the city of Newport.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that report in our hands. We expect by the 21st of October, we're going to be presenting, VHB will be presenting that report in its first draft form to City Council on Monday night, the 21st of October. And then immediately following that, we will make that report available on discovernewportvt.com and through our Facebook page, and we'll have all kinds of ways that people can get hold of it. And our goal will be to create an opportunity for everybody in the community to check in and give us feedback about that draft. So hopefully we'll be able to collect that feedback, give it to VHB, and then they'll create a final report by early November.
Yeah, and I'll share that we're going to be doing a big marketing push about this plan in the local community, and this is as much for Newport as it is our surrounding communities, because the development of Newport around the surrounding communities is really important. So I encourage everybody in the surrounding communities as well as Newport residents to be on the lookout for this. We're going to have little cards in specific places like Pick and Shovel, the East Side Restaurant, many other restaurants locally. There's going to be a QR code on those brochures, so you can quickly scan those. It'll bring you right to our website so you can read the plan. And then on our website, you'll be able to offer feedback. The feedback's really important. This is your opportunity to give your feedback on what you see in the plan, and your input will be used. So it's very important that everybody gets involved.
Yeah, I think what we're fighting in part is some level of frustration, which I can certainly understand, with the kind of reality that Newport feels like we've been studied to death. We've had, I think we counted 18 different studies and reports that have been done since 2009. And so folks say, how many more studies do we need to tell us to look to the lake and build out our downtown?
Right.
And the answer is yes, that's true. And we can't actually make the moves to put the funding stacks together unless we have this kind of granular look at what we're aiming for here. So that's what we're looking for. This is a plea that if y'all just kind of stay aware, and we will come back, Dave and I, or some combination of folks who are involved in this, will come back as soon as the plan has been done, and we'll use this forum as one way to get the word out about that document so you all can learn more about it. In the meantime, in a couple of weeks, our Associate Director, Felicia Updike, will be with you, and she's going to come to talk about the specifics that we have planned for the Pumpkin Palooza. There are lots of activities going on Saturday, the 26th of October, and so I hope all of you will plan to be in downtown Newport. We just had our Fall Festival last week. It was picture perfect, and I don't know how many people, but many, many hundreds of people, probably well into the thousands actually, came out for the chili competition and the Fall Festival. So stay tuned. Felicia will be back in a week and a half or 10 or so to share about that experience as well. And thank you, Dave. I appreciate your taking the time to come do this.
Absolutely. Thank you.